Have you ever noticed how much energy you give to people who don't even notice it? How many nights you stayed awake thinking about what they said, how they treated you, and how they might judge you tomorrow? Imagine taking all that energy and turning it inward. Imagine focusing on yourself so intensely that the noise around you becomes invisible. Today is not about proving anything to anyone. Today is about discovering how unstoppable you can be when your mind is yours alone. Your energy is sacred. Protect it fiercely. These words are not just advice. They are a principle that can completely change the way you move through life. Every person you meet, every conversation you have, every situation you step into demands something from you. Some of it is necessary, some of it is unavoidable, but so much of it is wasted on distractions, on people who do not care for your growth, on situations that drain you instead of fueling you. The moment you realize that your energy is finite, that it cannot be endlessly poured into others without consequences, the moment you begin to take control of your life. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it is essential. It is the difference between living on autopilot and living intentionally. Think about how often you have allowed yourself to be pulled into other people's drama. Think about how often you have sacrificed your own peace to argue, explain, or justify yourself to someone who was never going to understand. Every word you speak, every ounce of emotion you expend, takes energy away from the one person who truly matters you. Protecting your energy means understanding that every thought, every action, every attention you give has weight. It shapes your state of mind. It determines how you feel, how you respond, and how you move forward. When you stop giving your power away to people who do not deserve it, you begin to feel the freedom of control. It starts with awareness. Awareness of where your energy goes, how it is spent, and what drains you without reason. Some people are like leeches, quietly taking from your reserves while giving nothing back. Some situations are traps, dressed up as opportunities or responsibilities, but designed to keep you exhausted and distracted. Protecting your energy means noticing these patterns and choosing not to engage. It means saying no without guilt, walking away without apology, and refusing to let someone else's negativity dictate the course of your day. The strength it takes to do this is not external. It is cultivated quietly within. It comes from knowing that you are worth more than the scraps of attention others are willing to give. Your environment plays a huge role in your energy. The people around you, the media you consume, the conversations you allow yourself to participate in, they all carry vibrations that affect your mind and soul. When you choose to protect your energy, you also choose your environment carefully. You seek out people who lift you, inspire you, and challenge you to be better. You distance yourself from those who create chaos, spread negativity, or feed insecurity. This does not make you unkind or disconnected. It makes you strategic, intentional, and unstoppable. The stronger your boundaries, the more resilient your energy becomes. Protecting your energy is also about your inner dialogue. The words you say to yourself, the stories you tell yourself, the attention you give to self-doubt, these consume energy faster than any external conflict. When you focus on yourself, you learn to recognize the thoughts that pull you down and the beliefs that hold you back. You learn to redirect your attention to what truly matters: growth, peace, and purpose. The energy spent on comparison, jealousy, or resentment is energy that could be invested in creating your life. Every time you choose to redirect that focus inward, you reclaim power that was previously lost. The act of protecting your energy is an act of love toward yourself. It is choosing to honor your potential, your peace, and your future. It is saying no to toxic obligations and yes to opportunities that feed your soul. It is refusing to carry the weight of other people's insecurities or expectations. When you protect your energy, you create space to think clearly, act decisively, and grow continuously. Life is full of noise, but when your energy is guarded, you can hear your own voice above it all. Ultimately, protecting your energy fiercely is a lifelong practice. It requires constant awareness, discipline, and courage. It requires patience with yourself when old habits of overgiving creep back in. It requires forgiveness for times when you allowed your energy to be drained. But with each conscious choice, with each boundary respected, with each moment of self-care, your power multiplies. You begin to live a life that is not dictated by others, but guided by your own values, your own vision, and your own purpose. Your energy is the most precious resource you have. Protect it, nurture it, and invest it wisely. The moment you do, you stop being reactive and start being unstoppable. Growth happens in silence, not in the spotlight. This is a truth many overlook because the world celebrates noise, recognition, and constant display of effort. Social media, conversations, and even our own impulses push us to show the world our progress, to seek validation, to announce every small victory. But real growth is quiet. It is invisible to the eyes of others, yet it is profoundly transforming to the one who is willing to do the work. When you embrace silence, when you turn your attention inward, you allow the deep changes that define character, strength, and resilience to take root. Growth does not need applause. It needs dedication. It needs patience. It needs you to be willing to do the work without the reassurance of external approval. Think about the seed buried in the soil. No one sees the roots pushing deeper, strengthening, finding nourishment, expanding. No one sees the tiny shoots learning to reach for the sun. And yet, in the darkness and quiet of the earth, it grows into a tree capable of standing through storms, capable of giving shade, capable of bearing fruit. Your personal growth works the same way. The late nights spent reflecting, the moments of solitude where you confront your fears, the disciplined effort unseen by others, these are what shape you. These are what prepare you for the storms, for the challenges, for the moments when the world will finally notice, not because you shouted, but because your results speak for themselves. Silence is not emptiness. It is an active state of creation. It is where you confront your weaknesses without judgment, where you explore your potential without distraction, where you refine your thoughts, emotions, and actions. In silence, you find clarity that noise can never provide. You begin to understand which battles are worth fighting, which habits are worth keeping, and which relationships are worth nurturing. You stop reacting to the chaos of the outside world and start responding to the guidance of your own mind. The quieter you become, the more you can hear yourself, and the more effectively you can act in alignment with your true purpose. The world will try to pull you out of this quiet space. People may question why you are not constantly performing, why you are not sharing, why you seem distant. They may interpret your silence as weakness, disinterest, or disengagement. But those who truly understand will respect it. They will see that silence is your tool, your strategy, and your power. Growth is never immediate. It is slow, deliberate, and often unnoticed. The discomfort of being unseen is temporary. The results of patient, silent effort are permanent. Growth in silence also teaches humility. When you are not chasing applause, you learn to value effort over recognition, discipline over showmanship, and depth over surface-level impressions. You begin to understand that the value of what you are becoming is not dependent on who acknowledges it, but on who you are becoming internally. Each quiet victory, each small improvement, each step forward builds a foundation that cannot be shaken by criticism, envy, or misunderstanding. Your confidence no longer relies on external validation. It is rooted deeply in the work you have done away from the eyes of the world. Silence allows for focus. In a world filled with distraction, the ability to focus is a rare and precious skill. When you focus on yourself, your mind, your habits, and your craft without distraction, you accelerate your growth. You stop wasting energy on comparison, on proving yourself, on reacting to others' opinions. Every action you take in quiet concentration compounds, creating results that are invisible in the moment but undeniable over time. Growth is like compounding interest. The more consistent and patient you are, the greater the return. The quiet moments of effort, reflection, and learning accumulate into exponential change. Growth in silence is also about resilience. When you are not constantly seeking acknowledgement, you learn to withstand challenges without relying on comfort or approval from others. You become self-sufficient, self-motivated, and self-aware. You understand that setbacks are part of the process, that criticism is often a reflection of others, not a reflection of your worth. You cultivate patience, persistence, and perspective. And when the time comes for your work to be recognized, it will not be a fleeting applause. It will be undeniable proof of the depth, consistency, and integrity of your effort. True growth is not a performance. It is an inward journey, a silent forging of character, strength, and wisdom. It is done away from the eyes of the world, in the spaces where only you can see your own progress. When you embrace this principle, you become unstoppable because you are building not for the applause, but for the transformation that cannot be taken away. The world may not see your efforts today, but your growth is real, permanent, and unstoppable. Letting go is not weakness, it is wisdom. This is a truth that many people resist because letting go feels like giving up, like losing, like admitting defeat. But true strength is knowing what deserves your energy and attention, and what does not. Letting go is a choice to free yourself from the weight that does not belong to you, to release the burdens that others have placed on you, and to stop carrying the past as though it defines your future. It is one of the most courageous actions you can take because it requires honesty, clarity, and self-respect. It is not about ignoring reality. It is about choosing where to invest yourself so that your growth is not hindered by things beyond your control. Holding on to the wrong people, the wrong situations, or the wrong beliefs keeps you trapped. It consumes your energy silently while you convince yourself that persistence equals loyalty or effort equals value. Many spend years in relationships that diminish them, in jobs that drain them, in habits that limit them, and in thoughts that confuse them. Letting go is the first step toward reclaiming your energy and redirecting it to what truly matters. It is realizing that some battles are never yours to fight, some people are never going to change, and some chapters in life have reached their natural ending. The moment you accept this, a weight lifts off your shoulders and your focus returns to the one person who deserves it most, you. Letting go requires clarity. It requires you to look honestly at your life, at your emotions, and at your choices. You must ask yourself which attachments are holding you back, which patterns are keeping you small, and which opinions are not serving you. This process is not easy because it often means confronting uncomfortable truths, facing fears of loneliness, rejection, or uncertainty. But growth never comes from comfort. Every time you release what does not serve you, you make room for what will. You create space for opportunities, experiences, and people that align with your vision and your values. Your life becomes lighter, more focused, and more intentional. Letting go is also about releasing the need for control. We often hold on tightly because we want things to happen according to our plan, because we fear the unknown, or because we hope someone or something will change. But control is an illusion, and clinging to it only creates suffering. When you let go, you surrender the need to manipulate outcomes and trust that life unfolds according to a greater rhythm. This does not mean inaction or passivity. It means action aligned with purpose rather than fear. It is moving forward without dragging unnecessary baggage, confident that your energy is spent wisely and strategically. Letting go requires self-love. It is an act of prioritizing your well-being over the approval of others, over outdated loyalties, and over situations that drain your spirit. It is saying to yourself that you deserve peace, clarity, and growth more than you deserve resentment, attachment, or anxiety. This self-love fuels resilience, determination, and confidence. When you let go, you realize that happiness and fulfillment do not depend on what others do, say, or think. They depend on the strength of your focus, the integrity of your choices, and the courage of your boundaries. The process of letting go is gradual, and it requires patience. Some habits, thoughts, or relationships are deeply ingrained and will not release immediately. There may be moments of doubt, temptation, or nostalgia. But each conscious decision to release what is unnecessary builds momentum. Each step forward reinforces your commitment to yourself. Over time, you develop a clarity of mind and purpose that cannot be shaken by external chaos or drama. The space that once held attachment now holds freedom, creativity, and potential. Letting go is not a one-time act. It is a continuous practice. Life will present new challenges, new attachments, and new distractions. The wisdom lies in recognizing them, confronting them, and choosing to release them where they no longer serve your growth. Every time you let go, you reclaim your power. Every time you release what does not belong to you, you allow your energy to flow fully toward your vision, your goals, and your self-mastery. The moment you embrace letting go as wisdom rather than weakness, you unlock a freedom that is unmatched. You stop being weighed down by things you cannot change and start moving intentionally toward the life you are meant to create. Letting go is not about losing. It is about choosing yourself, your peace, and your future. The only approval you need is your own. This is a truth that the world constantly tries to challenge because society, culture, and even people around us thrive on comparison, judgment, and control. From a young age, we are taught to seek validation, good grades, praise from teachers, approval from friends, recognition from family, likes on social media. And while some guidance is necessary, much of it becomes a trap. We spend our lives bending, performing, and reshaping ourselves to fit the expectations of others, often losing sight of our own desires, our own values, and our own vision. Learning to recognize that your own approval is the only one that matters is the first step toward freedom. It is the path toward living a life that is truly yours, unshaken by criticism, envy, or societal pressure. When you depend on others for approval, your energy is scattered. Every action is filtered through someone else's judgment. Every decision is measured by how it will be received rather than how it will serve your purpose. This creates a life of hesitation, self-doubt, and distraction. True power emerges when you release the need for external validation, when your decisions, your actions, and your dreams are guided by your own compass. You operate from authenticity. You no longer perform to please the crowd or conform to standards that do not resonate with your essence. Instead, you act with clarity, conviction, and confidence, knowing that your choices are rooted in what aligns with your values and your vision. Seeking approval also limits growth. When you are constantly looking for reassurance, you avoid risks, shy away from challenges, and settle for comfort. You play small to fit into the boxes others have drawn for you. Growth requires courage, and courage often involves stepping into uncertainty without the guarantee of praise. The moment you accept that your own approval is sufficient, you unlock the freedom to experiment, to fail, and to rise stronger. You begin to pursue your goals unapologetically, embracing the discomfort that comes with pushing boundaries, and understanding that criticism or rejection from others is not a reflection of your worth, but a natural part of the process. This principle also teaches resilience. When your sense of value is internal rather than external, no one can shake it. Criticism, gossip, and negativity no longer have the power to disturb your peace, because you are anchored in your own standards and beliefs. You respond to challenges from a place of strength rather than reaction. You learn to discern between constructive feedback that can guide you and unnecessary opinions that are meant to distract or diminish you. Your self-approval becomes your shield, your compass, and your foundation. Self-approval is also about embracing your individuality. You do not need to replicate someone else's path, nor do you need to meet someone else's timeline. Each person has their own journey, their own rhythm, and their own purpose. When you seek approval from others, you unconsciously compare yourself, measuring your progress against a standard that was never meant for you. But when you cultivate your own approval, you honor your pace, celebrate your victories, and learn from your mistakes without shame. You acknowledge that your growth is unique, and that the only measure that truly matters is the one you set for yourself. This does not mean you become isolated, arrogant, or indifferent. It means you respect your own voice above all others. It means your decisions are deliberate, your energy is protected, and your focus is unwavering. The world may offer opinions, judgment, or doubt, but none of it can define your path unless you allow it. You are no longer a prisoner of perception. You are the architect of your reality. Learning to give yourself approval is also empowering. Each time you validate your effort, your choices, and your growth, you reinforce your confidence. You stop chasing recognition externally and start building it internally. You become self-reliant emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. The satisfaction of knowing that you are living true to yourself cannot be taken away, unlike external validation, which is fleeting and unreliable. The moment you embrace that your approval is enough, your energy becomes unstoppable. You act with purpose, you focus on growth, and you move through life unshaken by judgment. When you stand firmly in your own approval, you give yourself the ultimate freedom, the freedom to be who you are, to pursue what matters, and to live the life only you can create. Mastery of self is the ultimate freedom. It is not a skill that is given or inherited. It is cultivated through discipline, awareness, and relentless commitment to your own growth. Most people spend their lives being led by impulse, by reaction, by circumstance, and by the expectations of others. They let emotions dictate actions, let fear dictate decisions, and let opinion dictate self-worth. Mastery of self is the choice to take back control, to govern your mind, your emotions, and your energy with deliberate intention. It is the realization that no one else can define your potential, your focus, or your purpose, unless you allow them to. When you master yourself, you no longer live as a passenger in your life. You become the driver, steering with clarity and precision toward the life you are meant to create. Self-mastery begins with awareness. It requires observing your thoughts, understanding your patterns, and recognizing what influences your behavior. This is not an easy process because it demands honesty. It requires you to confront your weaknesses, your fears, and the habits that have been holding you back for years. It is uncomfortable because the truth is often harsh, and the mirror reflects things you may have been avoiding. But awareness is the foundation of freedom. Once you see clearly, you gain the power to act differently. You gain the ability to choose your responses instead of reacting unconsciously. You learn to control the energy you give, the words you speak, and the actions you take, and in that control lies immense power. Mastery of self is also about discipline. Discipline is not punishment, it is alignment. It is the practice of consistently choosing what serves your vision over what provides instant gratification. It is waking up early when others sleep, focusing when distractions scream, and doing the work when motivation fades. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your results. Every action taken with discipline compounds over time, creating momentum that cannot be stopped. Without discipline, knowledge remains theoretical, potential remains dormant, and dreams remain distant. But with it, you become unstoppable because you are no longer at the mercy of circumstance. You shape the circumstances around you. Emotional mastery is another crucial aspect of self-mastery. Life will throw challenges, criticism, and chaos your way. People will test your patience, and situations will provoke fear, anger, or doubt. Mastery of self means not letting these external pressures control your inner state. It means responding with calm, clarity, and intention rather than reacting impulsively. It means understanding that emotions are signals, not rulers. You allow them to inform you without letting them dominate you. When you master your emotions, you carry a power that is invisible yet undeniable. Others may try to provoke you, distract you, or pull you off course, but you remain steady, grounded, and unwavering because your center is internal, not external. Mastery of self also requires letting go of what does not serve your growth. This connects with everything else you have learned, protecting your energy, growing in silence, letting go, and seeking your own approval. A person who has mastered themselves does not waste time on negativity, toxic attachments, or meaningless approval. They understand that freedom comes from focus, discipline, and clarity, not from external validation or the approval of others. Every choice is intentional, every boundary is respected, and every action is aligned with their vision. Self-mastery is a constant recalibration, a process of tuning your life to resonate with who you are and who you are becoming. The journey to mastering yourself is not linear and is never truly complete. There will always be challenges, moments of doubt, and areas to improve. But this is the beauty of it. Mastery is not perfection. It is commitment. It is the decision to prioritize your growth, to protect your energy, to align with your values, and to remain true to yourself regardless of the noise around you. Each step you take towards self-mastery multiplies your freedom because you are no longer controlled by impulses, distractions, or the expectations of others. You move intentionally, act decisively, and live authentically. The ultimate freedom comes not from wealth, status, or recognition, but from the ability to govern your mind, your energy, and your life without being swayed by external forces. When you master yourself, you are unstoppable. You are untouchable in your focus, unwavering in your discipline, and relentless in your pursuit of purpose. The world may offer chaos, doubt, or distraction, but it cannot shake you because your power comes from within. Self-mastery is not just a practice, it is a declaration that your life belongs to you, that your growth is non-negotiable, and that your freedom is absolute. As we reach the end of this journey together, remember this: your energy is sacred, and how you protect it defines the life you will lead. Growth does not happen in noise or in the spotlight. It happens quietly, deeply, and consistently within you. Letting go is not weakness, it is wisdom, and it frees your mind to focus on what truly matters. The only approval you need is your own, because when you validate yourself, the world loses its power to shake you. And ultimately, mastery of self is the ultimate freedom, the key that unlocks a life of purpose, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. Every lesson we've explored today points to one truth: your life is yours to design, your energy is yours to guard, and your power is yours to claim. You do not need to chase recognition, fight battles that are not yours, or seek validation that will never satisfy. You only need to focus on yourself, nurture your growth, and walk the path that aligns with your vision. The world will come and go, opinions will rise and fall, but the strength you build within yourself will remain unshakable. So take this with you: protect your energy, grow in silence, let go of what holds you back, approve of yourself fully, and master your inner world. These are not just ideas, they are the principles that will guide you toward a life of freedom, clarity, and purpose. Every day you apply them is a day closer to the best version of yourself. Thank you for investing your time in this moment, for allowing these words to inspire reflection, and for choosing to focus on what truly matters. Good luck on your journey. May your focus be unwavering, your growth unstoppable, and your life a testament to the power that comes when you choose yourself first.